Tech Generator says, I want to do one thing in my life, but my living is dependent on something else, which I don't like. Normal. Totally normal. So now we need to create a plan to bridge to get to the thing that you love, right? And there's two ways to do it. One is evenings and weekends, you're working on your thing. You have your job that you hate, and you're working on your thing evenings and weekends to help get you to the life that you want. And that's a path. It's a slow path, but also you have to do the work, right? Like, how many evenings are you actually working on it versus saying, I'm tired and I can't do it and I'll work on it tomorrow night or next weekend or whatever, and there's no momentum, right? It's scheduled. You show up for yourself just like you would for your job, right? You're going to go to your job. If you don't show up, your boss yells at you. You have to put in your however many hours, a day working. Great. You go home. You still got to put another 2 hours. And you show up for yourself like you would for your boss, because I'm not saying this is you, but for a lot of people in this situation, you show up more for your boss than you do for yourself. That the job is too draining, that you're too tired, you're too exhausted, you come home and then you don't work on your own thing. But being too tired and exhausted isn't a good enough reason at your boss, right? But it's good enough reason for you. So we show up more for our boss than we do for ourselves. So that needs to flip. You have to start actually putting in the time to start building momentum. The second is, can you get a job? I'm not the guy who says, like, quit your job, go all in and be an entrepreneur. That's super scary for me. I don't like that. I like transitioning in. Maybe that's what you need to do, but I would go find a job. Option 2, go find a job where you're going to learn the skills that get you to become the entrepreneur. So go find a job that you're going to not just do this thing that you hate, but you do some things where you're learning the skills to become the person that has your own business, to have some success. So it's totally normal. Where you're at is totally normal. Dead Demolisher, show up for yourself like you show up for your job. Evan Carmichael, wow, ouch. Yeah, I mean, it's not meant to be a gotcha moment, but this is the truth. Most people, if they hate their job, you're doing just enough to not get fired, right? Like, you're not really going all at your job, but you don't want to get fired. So you're doing just enough to not get fired. And part of that is you have to be there. You have to be there at X time, right? You have to put in your 40 hours or 50 hours or whatever a week, but you're just not putting in those hours, not at that level. Maybe you need to work 2 hours a night for your own business. We're just not putting in those hours. You've allowed, think about the excuses you tell yourself, the reasons you tell yourself. If you gave those reasons to your boss, what would he or she say? Right? I'm really tired today. It's like, okay, get to work. What are you doing? Right? Or you're fired. Right? But we accept those reasons for ourselves. Christopher says, I'm having a hard time finding an empowering mindset when doing YouTube piano covers, so I lose momentum. Any mindset tips? So this is hopefully valuable for everybody. This is sometimes we need a push and sometimes we need a hug scenario. Sometimes we need the push and sometimes we need the hug. If you wait until you are always inspired, you're never going to do anything, right? I mean, to just say, okay, well, I'm only going to make a piano cover when I'm super inspired, you're almost never going to make anything. If you look at my journey on YouTube, 12,000 videos later, 13 years, something crazy later, were there days that I didn't want to do it? Of course. I filmed through a broken neck. I filmed through a concussion. I filmed through losing my voice. I filmed through feeling sick. I filmed through having no sleep. I filmed through breakups. Like, I filmed through everything. The only thing I did not film through is when my dog died. My family dog, 13 years. It was on a Tuesday. That was my filming day. And I just could not bring myself to film. And like, grief, I think, is the only acceptable reason. Grief is the only acceptable reason. Lack of motivation is not a good enough reason. So that, like, you start there. Lack of motivation is not a good enough reason. You have to go. So the push is, I said I was going to do it. I have to do it. It's in my calendar. I have to do it. I feel it. I don't feel it. I'm making it. It's happening. It's in my calendar. Let's go. Because you said you were going to do it, you have to go off and do it, right? Like, this is the identity that we start to build for ourselves. Because otherwise, when you say you're going to do something, you put it in your calendar and you don't do it, you're teaching yourself that the next time you put something in your calendar, you're not going to do it as well. Now you don't believe your own goals, right? Then the next goal you put in, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, the next day, right? You believe it in the moment, but then the next day, like, I'm not going to do that. Now we're letting ourselves off the hook constantly. So we have to rebuild that identity. You do difficult things. You said you were going to do it. You have to show up and do it. And you pat yourself on the back that even if you struggled through it, even if it wasn't your best work, even if it, you had to force yourself to get through it, it's like, I'm amazing. I did that. I did not want to do it. I did not want to create today. And I showed up for myself. I'm amazing. High five. Let's go. Right? That's the push. And sometimes you need the hug. The hug is when you get out of your head and focus on who you're helping. And I've heard your music, dude, it's great. That in your song today, the way you're going to play it, the way it's going to come out, you're also like in it, dude. If you guys ever watch his videos, he's in it. Like you're in his zone when you're feeling it, right? It's awesome. That by you making your videos today, you doing your cover, it's going to impact somebody's life. The way that you play the piano and seeing you do your thing is going to inspire somebody to take a chance on themselves when they're doubting themselves. That's the hug. That people need you, man. That people need you, and you're not going to show up for them because you're not motivated today. Right? So that's the hug. It's like people need you. It's not about you anymore. Stop being selfish. It's about who you're trying to serve and help. So for me, it's sometimes I need the hug and sometimes I need the push. Sometimes like I'm doing these videos to serve people and to help them. And hopefully it's going to be life-changing for somebody today. And I said I was going to do this. Let's go, Carmichael. Start filming. and some days it's like 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 100-0, depending on what you need. Think about the push. Think about the hug. And that can get you into the mindset to go off and start creating. Prakar says, hi, Evan. I'm depressed. Please help me. One, super sorry, Prakar. And thank you for showing up here. Thank you for asking for help. Like, I think part of the reason people are depressed is you're doing it all alone. Like, you do not need to do everything alone. We are living life together. You don't have to feel like it's just you out there in the world. So you're already on the step. You're here. Like you're coming to a inspiring, positive, if you see me live, it's not going to be talking about death and gloom. It's going to be something positive and believe. So you're already taking a step. You're already better than you were. Just not anything I did. You having a decision to come here and ask for help and ask that question, right? The way through is to help somebody. We are all built to serve. You want to help. And when you feel like you don't matter and you're not helping and you're having no impact and today's not going to make any difference to anybody, that you're going to show up and spend all day working on things that don't matter and nobody will care, that's the path down. That's the path to anxiety, the stress, the depression, the suicide. Like that's the path. You feel like you're worthless. But when you feel like you matter and today is going to matter and you're going to create something that's going to help somebody today, when you actually feel that, that's the path to out of depression. That's the path to service and purpose and mission and happiness and fulfillment. And it doesn't have to be some big thing. Like when you're really in the hole and depressed, you're likely not thinking about purpose and life goals and all these big things, right? It's like too far of a stretch. But just helping one person, just saying thank you to somebody in the chat. Just buying the coffee for somebody behind you in line, just holding the door for somebody, just leaving a nice comment on a video. Like the connection is always at your fingertips. A big reason for depression is lack of connection, lack of love, lack of interaction. So connection is always at your fingertips. Serving is always at your fingertips. And the more you just take little steps like that, say thank you. Like there's people here in the chat, just say thank you to them. Encourage them. Say what a great question. Tell them that you love their positivity. Like just anything. You'll feel yourself start to feel already a little bit better. It's like when you smile, even if it's a fake smile, you start to actually smile. You try it. Like fake smile, and then you'll see yourself start to smile. It'll be, your fake smile will become a real smile. You could try it yourself from home. You might feel stupid doing it, but I'm doing it with you, and I'm doing it live, so you're looking less stupid than I am, right? Bringing in niceness and kindness and helping other people will start to lift you out of that state of feeling stressed and anxiety and depression, because they can't coexist. And then hopefully that gets you to the point where you can think about purpose and bigger goals and all that. But for now, just baby steps. Like you've already done the hardest step, which is come here, where you know it's going to be positive and optimistic and ask for help. You've already done the hardest step, that first step. Now keep going. Prakar says, thanks, Evan. We'll try to apply to my life. Very appreciated. Much love, man. Prakar, much love. And listen, I'm live on a bunch of places. Going live on my gaming channel at 7 tonight. If you ever feel down or lonely or just want to talk, I'm there. So come on by, say hi. We're happy to have you. If you want to see an awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it.
Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.